We are live with a very special session 64 of our Drowned Gods campaign. We are celebrating Spooktober month, the most Halloween and potentially also weenie month of the year. And we're going to actually pick up more or less where we left off last time. We left off last time as you guys were researching the crystals that you had pulled out of the bullet. I did not feel like making I already made a couple new maps for this. I did not feel like making one for your house. So we're just at the beach, but pretend that you are at the Unicorn Villa, as it was described before. So it's got a walled-in courtyard, 4 towers on each of the corners. Well, 1 tower on each of the corners. And there's a garden in the central area, and you guys have actually set up a nice little bonfire there because it's been unusually cold recently. Where you guys are, there aren't really the typical 4 seasons. Instead, you have the more tropical equivalent of just the wet season and the dry season. But it's been unusually chilly recently. Many of the trees are starting to look a little brown and raggedy. And to beat the cold, you've set up this nice little bonfire. You are, sitting around it, chatting, drinking some warm spiced wine. And there is a new member amongst you. So this here is the tribe's shaman, Agata. And she and Manawanui have definitely hit it off. They even are sharing matching borders on their tokens, in case you hadn't noticed. So, a little bit of twinsies going on. And Agata has even taken an interest in some of the more unusual magical exploits that you've been delving into recently, Manoanui. And you've found that she's a bit of a kindred soul and someone you can actually confide in. So how much have you told her about your exploits and the strange book?
Manoanui confiding in someone? What?
I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I got this from like my demon overlord. I'm not gonna go that far, but I will share. I will share a great deal of what I've learned from the book. Maybe showing her some writing samples of what the writing looks like.
Yeah.
And depending on how she reacts, maybe even show her the book itself.
Okay. Yeah, she was actually quite receptive in general, and if you were willing to show the book, then she definitely would have encouraged that and even started helping you with your research. So you have a second person to try and persevere through the ill effects of the book. And she seems equally fascinated as you are. Oh, I should turn on the spooky ambiance. There we go. Spooky ambiance. There we go. Just adjusting the sound a little bit. It's kind of loud on my end. There we go.
If you listen closely, it almost sounds like Agata.
Exactly. Is that what your spooky ghost story that you're telling around the well, it's not a campfire, the bonfire?
It's at Agata's expense, yeah.
All right. So I would assume that's the punchline, the end of your ghost story.
Yeah, because everyone knows she's kind of spooky.
Yeah, no, Agata and Matawanui definitely are birds of a feather. So it's no wonder that they've taken a liking to each other so quickly. Yeah, and so most of the group just kind of laughs. Of course, Sunbeam, always always very shy, is kind of like curled up, trying to hide behind one of her sisters. And surprisingly, very unlike him, Sunbeam is actually like joining her. In curling up and taking some comfort in hiding behind his mother. So he seems thoroughly spooked out. Bro, is that a true story?
It's very true. I mean, it's as true as us getting stabbed in the heart by the Great Mother.
Whoa. Dude, I am never, ever going into the sewers again.
You better not, or else you know who will get ya.
Of course, his reaction then gets another laugh out of the group. And so then Agata, who's been largely not paying too much attention, kind of just like listening on the background, and has mostly been chatting with Mono Inui. Agata actually steps up and throws some sort of powder into the fire, which flares up in bright green sparks shooting off in all directions. And she says, "You're telling ghost stories then? Would you like to hear an old one that was passed down to me by the former shaman of this village?"
Yeah, tell us.
Very well. It is said that long ago, long even before our tribe arrived on this island, that there was a people who lived here before us. We can see their ruins around us, and this is definitely true, by the way. They've run into the ruins of the previous civilization that lived here. We can see the ruins around us as proof of their time here, and yet they are gone, down to a man. No one knows where they went or what happened to them. But they left writings and various, why am I blanking on it? What's it called? Murals. Various murals that tell a story. The most horrifying of which I will tell you here. You see, they were once ruled over by a wise and kind queen. During her rule, they had many years of peace and prosperity. It is said that the queen had the power, and at this she looks pointedly over at Mono Inui, to rule over even life and death. And that she would live forever, as death could not take her. However, there came a time in the queen's rule when she felt the weight of her years and wished to leave a legacy for herself in the form of a new generation. And so she set off across this land to find herself a husband. She had, of course, had many would-be suitors over the years, but she had turned them all down time and time again. Now, as she searched once again, she found many who wished to be her partner, but there was one in particular who stood out. He was dashing, clever, handsome, and bold, and the queen found herself quite smitten with him. She offered him many gifts, and soon he agreed to marriage. At first, the marriage seemed to be a great new blessing for the kingdom, but soon the queen spent more and more time with her new husband, until in time the queen was rarely, if ever, seen, with only the citizens occasionally seeing her in glimpses through the windows of the castle, looking out upon the citizenry, but she never left the castle. Then, one day, sightings of her stopped entirely. until some months later a proclamation was issued, written in the hand of the queen. It declared the king to be the new ruler of the land. Soon after, the king was seen with a woman who had the queen's face, but those who knew her before would claim vehemently that when they spoke to this woman, it was not the queen who responded, but instead someone or something else. It is also said from this day forward, whenever there was a blood moon, a faceless specter would haunt the land, taking the faces of those unlucky enough to cross her path, as she seeks to reclaim that which was taken from her. And at this, she throws another handful of powder onto the fire, and it sparks up quite loudly. This time in bright green and purple lights. And she then waves her hand and says, "Look, even now," and she points up to the sky, "the blood moon rises once again." And in fact, as you look where she's pointing, just now cresting over the horizon is a blood red moon.
Cerberus, hold me.
Yes, keep your faces close to you tonight. You never know who might come looking for them.
Keep our faces closed. Yeah, keep your eyes on your faces, everybody.
Well, I think that's enough of stories and socializing for me for one night. I'm afraid these old bones can't handle quite as much as they once could. Manawa Nui, dear, would you be kind enough to walk me home?
Hey, I would. Manawa's gonna walk over, help her up.
Yeah, she's gonna, she's able to lean on you and less heavily on her walking stick than she normally does. And yeah, you guys continue to chat about other things and stuff as you're walking home. Is there anything you would like to specifically ask her as you kind of arrive at her hut and she's ready to turn in for the evening?
Oh. So you mentioned this queen had power over life and death?
Yes, that's what the stories say. I believe you were mentioning before, deep in a well in the catacombs that you visited when you first arrived, you sensed great necromantic powers from below the ground. I think perhaps it may be related. Is that the lie you told about the book? Did you say you found it down there?
Yes, that is actually what I'm gonna say. I like that.
All right. Yes, it only makes sense given.
No.
It only makes sense.
Why would you bring that up?
Exactly. It only makes sense given you found that book down there as well. Must all be connected somehow.
I'm sure. Do you think there's any remnants of such things still around?
Oh, undoubtedly. I do hope we will have time to explore them before you leave. I suspect we will, though, given the slow progress on the crystals and the boat itself. I'm afraid I won't be any use adventuring down there, but perhaps we take the strapping lad and see what we can find.
Oh, yes. I know Luke is always ready and eager to help.
Yes. He is an excellent help.
At this, I'm going to because we're at her place, right?
Yeah.
Well, at this, I'm going to help her into her house.
Thank you, sweetheart. I really must sleep now. It's no fun getting old, you know. I don't suggest it, though you seem to have found some way to sidestep it. I remember when you first arrived. I was a teenager then, and you were a little child. And yet here you are. Don't know how you manage it. You must tell me your skincare regimen.
Oh, just a little here, a little there. Things that I have Junior pick up in the jungle.
Yes, I'm quite sure that's exactly what it is. she just kind of like taps her ears.
To be fair, I don't think Mono Anuri really knows why she doesn't grow old.
You've definitely figured out that you're different.
No,
And the
I'm
pointy
different.
ears are like definite. Like no one else has pointy ears that you've met other than Captain Lady. Or was Captain Lady an elf actually? Because if she was, you would know what elves are by this point.
Hold on.
I don't think she was.
I made her character on a whim. So.
And then you were like, I know, let's put the players in a situation where they have to either abandon someone to drown and die, or they have to add her to the group. I'm just saying, you brought it on yourself.
If you guys hadn't snuck aboard the ship, nothing of the sort would have even had the opportunity. Home? No. I think, I don't know, since you have I feel like you have the ultimate canon say, so if you want there to be a faction of seafaring elves,
well, there definitely is a faction of seafaring elves. Whether or not Kahukara, or whatever her actual name was one of them, I don't know. That was...
We'll say that she was.
Alright, so then you know what an elf is by now.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, what she just said was largely teasing, because she would also know by now what an elf is.
I guess, yeah, elves are trading, we're trading with them.
Yeah. So, anyway, just a funny. All right, so meanwhile, back at the bonfire, y'all are toasting some tubers and enjoying yourselves, trying to get the story out of your minds, perhaps. And eventually, as the evening wears on and the blood moon continues to rise, what are you doing? It's probably midnight by this, or well, it's not quite midnight. It's like 11:30 by now.
Pretty scared. I don't want to be alone.
Yeah, now you and Burnbright are both terrified of everything. Alright, well, I'm just gonna assume that general carousing and whatnot goes on. More drinks are passed around. Eventually, Manawanui does return to the group. So I guess I will remove Agata there.
I see you're still awake. I expected half of you to already be huddled in shelters at this point. I say to the general group as I walk up from the forests.
Bro, I'm too scared to sleep right now. I think ghost stories was a bad idea, man.
Yeah, for real.
Don't worry. There are far worse things than face-stealing ghosts in the forest.
Yeah, but
Easy
like...
for you to say. Your face stinks.
Thanks. Yep.
Burnbright just mumbles something to himself.
No. I know Akalupu here isn't scared. Or Junior. Technically still correct, but you know.
Akalupu drinking a little bit more than usual. It's like, yeah, of course not.
Gur is gonna jump out around in front of Akalupu, and he's wearing a plastic face that looks like you just ripped someone's face off of them, and go, "I'm here for your faces! Fear Gur!"
Akalupu is going to jump and definitely tense a bit, but like pretend he's not reacting.
Aw, I like my costume. It's like my flesh suit has another flesh suit, like flesh suitception.
That's nice, Gur. Now give it here. You're scary, Burnbright.
He is in fact scaring Burnbright. So yeah, Gur does reluctantly hand over the face. You're glad to find that it appears to be made out of like some sort of tanned leather that is probably not human.
Akalupu makes a mental note to do it. That body count tomorrow of the people in the village.
Well, all right. So, what was that?
Well, I said, you know, Gur, you're not too bad for being a soulless robot.
What is a robot?
Don't worry about it. I'll pack her on the head.
That's okay. You said I'm not alive, so that means I can't die, which works for me. Alright, so, yeah, the evening goes on, and eventually, you all basically just black out. You don't know why. And you're gonna wake up. All right. Can you guys see these guys here?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Can
I
you
love
control your respective spirit animals? I think most of you should know who is who. I even gave you the same borders for consistency. All right.
Dragon. Are you doing tongue stuff? Were you trying to grab something?
All right. So you guys, suddenly awaken, and you find yourselves in a dimly lit, dusky cellar. And somehow everything around you seems huge. It's like chairs are looming over you as if they were the size of houses. Only slowly do you start to comprehend that you are in the unicorn's root cellar / basement, which is known colloquially as the dungeon. And looking around, you don't see your friends. Instead, you see a few animals sitting around each other, kind of piled up on each other as you're looking. And before long, you do start to look at your hands and whatnot and realize something is very strange. Except for you, Mako, you don't have hands. That's probably the first thing you notice.
You were just crying the other day about snakes. They don't have any arms.
Did that snake just talk? What's going on?
yes. Also, while you guys are noticing what's going on with yourselves, I'm going to assign your characters in Hero Lab. So give me a moment.
I just played Reginald.
More or less, yeah. You start to look at yourself, and you notice like your vision is all crazy, and you have like way more peripheral vision than normal. There's some sort of giant nose in the middle of your vision. You like start trying to move your hands, and instead you're flapping around wings. And you are in fact an albino crow.
Good thing you're not a black crow, or else we would consistently be breaking Kapu.
Yeah, you would have no hero points ever.
Wait, oh, that's right. Well,
Seeing
That
him
wouldn't-
jump and flap his wings around is making me weirdly hungry.
Yeah, you see a snake licking her lips and looking straight at you.
I'm going to try and fly up to a high perch.
All right, go ahead and give me an acrobatics roll to use your wings for the first time ever.
Would that be just an acrobatic from Reginald?
That would be from if you go, and you should see yourself as a crow. I have transferred control for you. So if you go to your list of PCs, you should have a new one called Manawanui that is a crow.
Nice.
All right, everyone should now have their animal versions, so please pull those up. One thing I will point out is I know you guys have gotten used to your newfound strength as level 5 characters with some tweaked up gear. You are all now level 1 animals, so just keep that in mind.
Nice. I got a 26.
All right, it's pretty good. You manage it out of pure instinct. So you're able to flap away and go hide on a higher perch.
Then the little snake eyes that do it for you. Give you the extra motivation.
Would Manawanui get like a little bit of like a bonus since because you do that thing where you go into
Oh, that's
trance,
right. Like warg into Reginald. Do I have like any sort of like
No, so you
muscle
only see through Reginald's eyes. You do not control his actions in any way during that.
I see.
All right, Mako, do you try to go for him as he runs away?
No, I mean I'm trying to not. I like that like shakes me out of it. It's like, whoa, I don't want to eat a live bird.
Yeah.
It's the same size as me and is my friend, or at least somebody that I met. Like, so I'm like, whoa, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's get breakfast elsewhere. Hangover breakfast.
That's a good, yeah. You guys have no idea what happened. The last thing you remember was just downing of, some of the last jugs of spiced wine.
Is this what happens when the queen steals your faces?
No, I think this is what happens when you drink spiced wine.
Oh no. It was laced.
So can we understand each other?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and Anna, you are a Mushu-sized dragon, though technically I think you're a silver one and not a red one, but I thought it was funny, so I used Mushu.
Since I've been around for a while, do I kind of know what's going on?
You would be aware of the Kapu, I would imagine. Like, you would have heard stories about people turning into their spirit animals on blood moons. It's never happened to you before, though.
I see.
So it would have been just like old stories that you would have been told by like Pele back on Outset Isle. All right, so you're looking
Strange
around.
magic is afoot.
Yeah. So looking around, like I said, you're in the cellar. there is a set of stairs that lead up to kind of an angled trap door kind of thing. I guess a storm doors. Is that what those are called?
Yeah.
So there's a set of stairs that lead up to a pair of storm doors, and you can see that they are cracked just slightly ajar, and there is a red glow, like a beam of red light kind of shining through that crack.
I'm gonna fly to the door.
All right. You get up to the door, you can see through it, and you can see out to the courtyard. The bonfire has long since burned down to nothing but slightly glowing embers. Give me a perception check.
Already?
And this is going to be with disadvantage, so roll it twice and take the worst, because your hearing is not the greatest as a bird. Eyesight is great, though.
Alright, so the first roll is a 12, and the second roll is a 20. That sucks. So I guess 12 plus 11, so 23.
That's still pretty good. Luckily, you are very observant as a crow. Yeah, so you hear some muffled groaning coming from outside of the trapdoor. So like somewhere out in the courtyard or nearby.
I'm gonna turn back towards River Lake. Guys, I think someone's injured out there.
Well, we have to go save them then.
Whoa!
With what? I have no hands. Like, is anybody else freaking out?
No time to freak out. Someone's in trouble.
If I remember correctly, every blood moon, members of our tribe, we turn into spirit to our spirit animals.
But Mako's not a part of our tribe. Maybe
Well,
it happens
that's-
to everybody.
No, Mako is.
Oh.
So the villagers that you met were originally from Outset Isle.
Oh,
When you
right.
first arrived
Okay.
on this island, they had left
My
from
mistake.
Outset Isle.
You're part of the tribe, but you're an outsider.
Okay, so I do know what's happening.
You wouldn't. I don't know if you would have ever heard stories because you were a bit of a splinter group, so a lot of the knowledge
Right.
got lost. So
And how
you
frequent is this blood moon thing?
very infrequent. Manawa
Okay.
Nui is now like 60, 70 years old,
yeah.
something like that, and it hasn't happened to her before. So it's something
cool.
that if even Manawa Nui has only heard stories about.
Okay, got you. Then I'm definitely freaked, but I guess let's slither on up there.
All right.
Yeah, how do we open these doors, though?
If the stories are true, we should return to our regular forms in the morning. If we make it that long.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Junior, you seem to be a bit more robust than the rest of us. Can you open this door?
The crack is actually wide enough that Mako, if you wanted to slither through it, you actually fit.
Yeah, definitely. I don't need.
Find us a pry bar.
Yeah, so I can slither out.
Yeah, do you want to do that first, or do you want to wait until Manawa Nui tries to push the doors open?
I guess he could try. And then I'll go out if that does not work. If that works.
All right, Junior, let's get a strength check.
You want your physical dice? I found them.
Nah, I'm good.
Wow. Okay, when you fail, don't blame me.
I don't have room to use them.
I could bring over a tiny table.
And this is just a regular roll, right, Thomas?
Yeah, just
What
a
did you
regular
get?
strength roll.
Okay. I just want to make sure I wasn't like working at disadvantage like you were.
No.
21.
All right. You push on it pretty hard, especially considering you are a very small dragon. Yeah. But you're able to get it to budge like a inch or two, maybe inch or two compared to your size. That's probably like a 1/10 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch or something. You're able to get it to budge a bit, but it seems to be catching on something.
How much bigger than the snake am I?
You are lengthwise shorter. In terms of your girth, your torso is probably about 50% wider than the thickest part on Mako. But then, of course, you also have arms and legs. It's a little different.
Okay.
Show
I was
off.
just trying to see if like I'm gonna be able to also fit through the crack.
You would if you didn't have arms or legs.
Yeah.
But the shoulder and hips and that kind of stuff is making that a little difficult. Plus your
I
head's
can't
kind of
just
big.
turn, like sideways. Put my arms and legs up and down.
You can try to squeeze through that way if you really want to.
I'll let the snake go through first.
Why don't I check it out? Let me see what's out there. So I'm going to sneaky slither out.
All right.
Try and get an idea of like maybe why the door isn't opening and if there's a person who's in trouble.
All right, so you slither out, you poke your head out. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Should I be a different character?
Yes. So if you go to your character section, there should be a new one that is under your control called Mako as well, but it's a snake.
I see. Okay.
So the avatar is different.
And yeah, I see it. And so we're doing perception. I'm going to roll 22.
All right, some good perception rolls today. All right, so you all out of instinct, you flick your tongue out, which is somehow your most precise sense actually seems to be smell, or even more so taste. But you flick your tongue out a couple of times, and you can sense the smell of a unicorn nearby. It seems to be, and you're not even sure how you know this. Like, you normally would not be able to pick up just by scent who it was, but in this case you are able to recognize Sunbeam. What does Sunbeam smell like? I have that written down. All the unicorns have unique smells, by the way, so that's why I specifically have their smells. That's not normally a
And it's
thing I
written
write down.
I love it.
Yeah, that's not normally a thing I write down for NPCs, but the unicorns, like, that's the thing about them, is they have smells. Sunbeam, so you're able to get this scent of fresh linens and the smell of a after summer rain.
Okay. So
you recognize that it is Sunbeam. You don't see her, though. To be fair, your vision isn't great.
Can I see what's blocking the door?
So you are you gonna slither all the way out? Right now you've kind of just poked your head through. Or are you gonna try to like twist yourself around?
Yeah, I'm gonna put maybe half of my body out there to kind of get a good smell, good test of what's going on. I don't want to go out there all by myself yet, but
Can
All right.
I fit through the crack?
You're squishy enough, yes. If you wanted to squeeze through, you probably would fit.
I'll poke my head out above Mako's head.
Yeah. You don't have bones. You just kind of squish through, just plorp. Despite the fact that if you had a skeletal structure, you would not fit. So you poke your head out. If you want to give me a perception as well. Meanwhile, Mako, you poke your body about halfway out, start looking around. You notice in the doorway to one of the towers, there seems to be a figure kind of shrouded in darkness. They seem to be standing in place, kind of just rocking gently back and forth. You also if you're still trying to look for what could be blocking the cellar, you can see that there is a board latched over, obviously to keep the cellar doors closed.
Oh.
You should go say hi.
So yeah, looks like you'll need to get that board out of the way.
Also, to keep up on the theme of high perception checks, I got a nat 20.
Dang. All right. Your vision's not great either, unfortunately. So you see about basically what I just described. Would you see anything else? I don't think so. So you would see the figure not too far away in the doorway, and then also the board barring your progress.
Is the figure where like the moaning is coming from?
Yes.
I don't want to go over there.
Great Mother, protect us. What the heck is that?
And that is also where the smell is coming from. So the figure smells like Sunbeam.
Oh, okay. Then I guess I am gonna slither over. I mean, and I'm like,
Wait, shouldn't we open the latch somehow?
oh, you think we can? Isn't that like 3 feet up?
You guys, it would take some doing, but you could definitely, working together, push the board out of the holder. Because it's just basically on like a little hook. You just need to push it up and off.
And I'm long, so that's my special skill.
Yes, and it's pretty easy because the doors are slanted. You can just slither up the door easily.
Ah, okay. Oh, that makes sense, like cellar doors.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So then let's work together, Jason, Ip, and try and open this door. Do you want us to roll a particular check?
Normally I would, but we'll just move along because like you get it eventually either way. So you guys work together, and takes a bit of doing, but you're able to slither up easily enough. And Ip, you notice that you've got very sticky little paws. You're able to kind of climb things like a gecko.
Oh, this is fun. It's just like my spider ring.
Exactly. But yeah, so you guys are able to...
I assume I still have. Was that passed down from Biopi? I guess Biopi probably took it on his adventure.
That is up to you, whether or not you want to have it passed down or not.
Well, it doesn't matter right now.
Yeah, no, you do not have your gear anyway. You are all quite naked. All right, so you're able to push the board out of the way, and with that moved, Junior, you're able to push the doors open easily enough.
Nice. I'd do that.
I'm gonna hop out.
All right. When you were moving the door, when you were opening the doors, were you specifically trying to be quiet?
Probably.
No.
Well, we're gonna go with.
Oh, when you said the door, I'm sorry, that wasn't me moving it. I thought you meant the latch.
Well,
I feel like
either
we were
of them.
definitely being quiet. I'm scared of this thing.
Okay, so you two, I believe, were being quiet. Agalupu, were you being quiet when you pushed the door open?
I mean, probably.
All right, then I would like a stealth check.
If it were Mushu, he would just break out of there and be like, "Hello, fresh air."
Kick that door down,
You
yeah.
just kick open the door, and in the morning, I'm making waffles. Oh wait, wrong character, same voice actor, I think.
Yes,
Yeah, no,
it is
it's
the
the same
same
voice
voice actor.
Yeah, that's the guy from Men in Black, right?
No.
It is not Will
18.
Smith. It's Eddie
Okay.
Murphy.
Okay, see, this is how well I know things. This is why I should never even try.
Eddie Murphy in Rush Hour.
All right,
No.
so stealth check, Junior.
18.
18. All right, you're able to be pretty quiet as you slowly
good.
push the door open just enough to let Manawanui through, and then you slip out and gently close it down behind you.
Akalupu Jr. has a little bit more, like, subtlety than Akalupu Sr. had.
Yeah. All right, so you guys are now in the courtyard. Everything is bathed in an eerie red glow from the blood moon, which is now at the very zenith, directly above you. You can see and hear, in fact, the village is eerily silent, even for this time of night. There isn't so much as the sound of crickets, only the sound of the wind slowly blowing across, occasionally howling as it rips through some crevasse or another, and strange clunking and other unusual noises of things. Well, hopefully just things settling in the distance.
Where did that figure go?
They're still in the doorway.
I am going to take a wide berth and try to go around to the back of the building so that it doesn't see me.
So you are in the courtyard. The castle walls are in the corner. Here, I can just draw. All right, so to give you an idea of what you're looking at.
Are you back yet?
You can. Where's the...
Abe. We lost Abe.
Uh-oh.
Now he's back.
My phone died.
All right, so you've got basically the courtyard is just a square like this, and then you've got like and for whatever reason, I think they took away the freehand drawing. I don't even see an option for it. I just have to like do these polygons. Here, I can do a circle.
I have freehand.
I don't see it. I see draw shape, circle, polygon / line, text, and clear.
Oh, here it
It's
is.
the top of the paintbrush menu for me. That's so strange.
Am I looking at the wrong one? Well, either way, it doesn't really matter right now. So you got those, and then obviously the doors are on the fronts. All right, so you're gonna like climb up a wall and try to get around from the side. Is that what you're saying? Because you can't get to the door from behind the building. You would be on the outside of the entire like complex.
Oh yeah, that doesn't really work. So never mind. I'll stick with the group.
All right, so you guys are that's not what I meant to do. All right, so you guys
I
are.
don't know how to get rid of my.
Everyone's
Manawanui
tokens
wants
are
to
all
do something, but
weird-sized.
Manawanui can't speak because Manawanui's not here.
I'll just use your earbud. I was just gonna say when I hopped out, I was gonna like fly up and take a look around.
What happened to Manawanui this time?
Manawanui's phone died.
Yes.
Nice.
But
All right, so you're gonna fly up and look around. There is no way for you to take off quietly. I will point out, you're not an owl.
oh,
You take off like a pigeon.
Yes, exactly, like a big pigeon. Like there is no way for you not to make an extremely noticeable noise while flying.
well, in order to not jeopardize. my
And the
friends,
figure will say is like right now. Let me draw. Draw a circle in red. There we go. The figure's in that doorway.
Ah.
And then the exit to the courtyard is over here. All right, so what are you going to do?
Okay, wait. Actually, I'm gonna read. I actually do want to do my plan. I'm gonna try and like crawl from above the doorway through the doorway without the figure noticing.
Okay, so you're trying to get inside the tower behind them?
Yeah, to see if I can find Sunbeam.
All right.
Oh, wait. No. Guys, wait. I think that is Sunbeam.
What?
Yeah.
Oh wait, that makes sense.
So let's have one of those. Let's have Macau. You can slither up silently and check on him.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like I'm not that scared because, like, I mean, I'm spooked, but, like, it's Sunbeam. I know Sunbeam. Like,
Yeah.
smells like Sunbeam. Must be Sunbeam. I'm sure that that's fine.
All right. Go ahead and give me a stealth roll as you try to slither up closer.
Okay. 27. We are crushing it tonight.
Dang! No kidding. Hopefully this karma doesn't come back for you. All these good rolls, you know, you might start rolling some ones. All right. So you, how close are you gonna slither up? Go ahead and move your token.
Where's she? Where am I? Oh, the red circle?
Yeah, she is this red circle in the top left-hand corner. All right, so you slither up to within about 10 feet. And as you're getting closer, you're able to start picking out more detail, and the scent becomes stronger, and you're almost certain this has to be Sunbeam. Then as you get closer, and the figure continues to just rock back and forth, just repeatedly moaning quietly to itself. As you pull closer, you finally get to where you can see past the shadows, and indeed there is Sunbeam in her human form. Looking at her, you notice that she has no face, only a kind of featureless, skinny, like skin-covered void where her face should be. And you realize that the muffled groaning is because she has no mouth.
Can she breathe?
Unclear, but she's not dead, so presumably.
Okay. Well, that's fucked. I think I
Go ahead and give me a will save.
Okay. Because I'm waffling. So that makes sense.
Yeah, so we'll see. Basically, this will save is to see how well you're able to, like, stifle your reaction to this startling revelation.
Okay, yes, that makes sense. I got a 23.
All right, you're able just barely to clamp down on, like, an involuntary shudder and hiss that almost came out of you. And even as you just, like, twitch slightly, it makes just the tiniest noise, and you see the figure suddenly jerk and start to, like, twitch around as if it's looking for something.
Okay, I'm gonna slither back to the group and be like, she's got no face! There's no face!
It's the queen from the story. She must have got all the unicorns while we were knocked out.
Oh my god.
Well, at least we know that this Sunbeam won't hurt us intentionally.
But she doesn't know that we're animals. Like,
So Mono
She'll try
Anui.
and catch us and cook us.
So we're gonna have a flashback now. So Mono Anui, we're flashing back to when you and Agata were walking home, and you were continuing to discuss the story she told, and you know, your first question, of course, was just like, was that real, or were you just trying to scare people? And she was saying, yes, from all of the research I found, all of that was true. Well, it's hard to tell with old tomes and drawings on the various walls, but it's what I've been able to piece together. But there was more to it that I didn't get into. You see, much of what I found is from the old crypts, the one that you've mentioned before with all of those coffins and whatnot in it. And I've gathered quite a bit of information. But it seems that, you know, the old watchtower off to the east of town? Well,
Yeah.
It seems that watchtower, and unsurprisingly given its much better construction than the rest of this village, was actually originally part of the town or castle that was in this same location all that time ago. And Well, the stories are that at nights when there's a blood moon, at some nights, not nights with blood moons, some nights the guards there waken to find things missing. We even had one report of someone's face stolen, though that was a bit before my time. I wasn't able to verify that story. It's just something that I've heard on the grapevine. But the story is that the queen, of course, was trapped away in a dungeon by that wicked king, and that perhaps something of great import to her is still trapped down there under the tower. Perhaps if it could be returned to her, she could be appeased in some way. All right, and then we flash back to the current time.
Snap back to reality.
Oh, it goes gravity.
Mom spaghetti.
Alright. So since on our way back, able to inquire a little bit more about this woman, now that we can be certain that the tale is true and not just some old wives' tale, I think I might have some pertinent information.
Well, spit it out.
Well, thank you. Well, it seems as if there is something in the dungeon of that old tower to the north of the city.
East.
That the east. My bad.
No, west. I think it was west.
West. In, a direction.
A direction from the city. That's fair.
Of the city. There is an old tower in the dungeon of which there's allegedly something of great import to this queen that might satisfy her bloodlust if we return it to her.
Her face lust.
Her face lust.
So as you're discussing this, you hear a blood-curdling scream coming from this tower to the southeast. And you see... What was that?
Nothing.
All right. And you see Burnbright comes tumbling out, falls over onto his back, and he's looking terrified into the darkened doorway. And inside of the tower, you can see the shadowed outline of a figure menacingly raised over him. And the figure holds out one of its hands, and you suddenly hear the screaming comes to an immediate and unpleasant stop as Burnbright rolls over, and you see he no longer has his face.
Thomas, this is scary.
I
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
And then the figure just slowly evaporates into the darkness. But what little you were able to see, it seemed to be a feminine figure donned in armor with some very jagged spikes.
I believe this is a good time to make our exit.
Exit stage right. So wait a second, can I just ask a quick question? The unicorns are not from our area, so they don't turn into animals?
Correct. The unicorns are not part of the tribe. They are from a different island.
That makes sense. Continue.
Yeah, at this point, actually, because you've opened up trade networks, there's actually quite a few people on the island who are not part of the tribe. All right, so as you guys say, time to make your exit. That's probably a good idea because you see Burn Bright starts moving erratically and jerking around, almost as if spasming, rather than having control over his motor functions. And he jerks upright and starts to stumble in your direction.
I'm gonna take off flying.
Oop.
I'm gonna fly.
Yeah, I kind of want to be like, don't worry, guys, we're gonna go figure this out and uncurse you. But we are also cursed right now, and we don't know what the situation is, so we better just get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, and he's moving in a way that does not seem friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so true.
Boop.
Akalupu.
Boop.
I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna fly over the Akalupa. Get your foot out of there!
And thankfully, just as you're trying to get past him, he almost catches Akalupu and Mako, who are the last two to get out. But luckily, at the very last moment, he trips over one of the stones from the bonfire and falls prone, and you're able to essentially just slither over him quickly.
Don't worry, Burn Bright, we'll save you.
Do you actually say that?
As I'm disappearing through the doorway. Yes, I do.
All right, you say that, and immediately you see both Burn Bright and Sunbeam turn directly toward you and beeline toward the door, just hands outstretched in wicked claw, tensed.
Oh no, that's not them. Keep running.
All right.
In future.
So you guys go running pell-mell as quickly as you can toward the east where the tower is, and that takes you through the center of town. So you guys find yourself, hopefully you can see yourselves right here. So you see in front of you, very much immediately, another faceless villager holding a pitchfork, looking directly at you, and pointing the pitchfork menacingly but somewhat directionlessly. So his face is in your direction, but he can't, he doesn't have eyes, so it doesn't seem like he can see you directly. Go ahead and give me a stealth roll to see whether or not you've already given up your location.
Oh,
As you panicked to get out of there.
Not a nat 20, but just a regular, but a 17 with a +3.
Nice.
I got a 22.
I got a 10.
Oh no!
Way to go, Ib.
Guys,
Sucks for you guys. I can climb up this building.
Yeah, so you notice that he the villager seems to have noticed that you are there, and he's looking around, turning his head left and right. He clearly can't see you and is going off of sound, and as he hears you start to skitter up the wall, he kind of rushes at it and slams recklessly, pitchfork first, into the wall of the building, and then falls over.
It's a good thing he got distracted with that.
Huh?
I said it's a good thing he got distracted chasing the axolotl.
Yes.
Yes.
Because the dragon got an 11.
The dragon's gonna what?
The dragon got an 11.
What?
I got an 11.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
He said an 11.
The villager picks itself up, and it's very strange. Normally, given its aggressive actions and posture, you would expect, yelling or some sort of vocalizing, but with no face, it's all silent other than the shifting of cloth on the creature's body and the scraping of the metal prongs from the pitchfork across stone. It slowly picks itself up and starts to swirl around again, and eventually starts wandering off in this direction, still jerking with each movement. So, you guys need to get all the way over here.
Where? Over to the other side of the square?
All the way to the left.
Okay, cool.
And you do see other similarly defaced villagers,
Ba-da-dum-bum-bum.
exactly, moving around. They seem to be searching for something.
Right, what's the plan, folks?
Well, I can stick to the rooftops and kind of go towards the north and draw them away. And then you guys make a break for it. And then I'll try and make it the rest of the way when they're coming after you.
Or after they're through, I can carry you across from the north to there, to where we're going.
You think you can carry me all that way?
I mean, I think so. Maybe.
Yeah, Monowanui would be able to do that, not quietly, once again. It's not an owl.
We're flying. We're chilling.
I like this plan. I'll cause a diversion. Behind this rafter here. Hey, stupid Frankensteins, look over here.
Alright, so you say that, it definitely catches a few of their attentions. Sadly, your small lizard body has very little lungs and cannot shout very loudly. But
Can
it
I
gets...
fly over there and caw, like as I'm flying over there?
You would be way louder, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna caw over here and go, caw, nevermore, caw.
Alright. I think it's more of their attention. So several of them start coming over, and you actually are going to need to give me a reflex save as one of them tries to chuck a knife at you.
Oh no. Oh no. Plus 9 is 8. 25.
Alright, you are able to dodge sideways as the knife goes and buries itself deep into the roof. This would have been very painful if it had hit you.
Oh, I mean, considering I'm just like a little bird, I'll believe it. Although, Monowanui at this point is just used to, like, things flying through the air being quite horrid.
Yeah, so luckily in this case you were able to dodge it though, so you go backwards. Give me a another reflex save though to see whether or not you fall down from dodging.
Oh geez. Let's see, that'd be 20. 22?
Alright, so you're able to like backpedal effectively without tripping over your bird feet.
Okay, we better use this window of opportunity, Junior, and get started moving.
Alright, give me a couple of stealth checks.
While they're doing that, Monowanui, do you want to pick me up in your talons, or should I get on your back?
I'd imagine talons.
Probably a little
better.
bit more balanced that way.
Yeah.
Watch
something
out.
like-
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to do that without hurting the very squishy, at least a bit. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So, stealth checks. Mako, Junior.
I got a 26.
Junior got a 9.
Alright, so you guys get to about here. And you notice the well in front of you, there seems to be a dark mist seeping up out of it and then slowly pooling along the ground. And you feel, both of you feel this sense of dread coming from the well itself. And Junior, you swear you see just for a moment a pair of hands reaching over the edge of the well with long, pale, white, almost claw-like hands and long fingernails like a corpse. And you are not able to avoid gasping at that.
Yeah, fair enough. That's fucking spooky.
Yeah. Mako, you don't see it, so lucky for you.
That makes sense.
All right, so
She's been busy trying to be quiet.
so at this noise, as Junior gasps loudly, the villagers all turn directly towards you, and just like wordlessly point in your direction and start to shamble toward you.
Okay, fuck. But everybody is pulled towards the north except for this one. Oh, two guys down here. So I guess let's try and slither around the south part of the well.
Akalup was going to follow. I can't control my character right now. My computer died.
Oh, nice. Y'all need to charge your devices. Phone died, the computer died.
To be fair, this computer always dies if I don't have it plugged in, so...
Yeah, it should have been plugged in.
My phone always died.
Alright, so give me a... so I assume at this point you've given up on stealth and you're just trying to go fast, is that correct?
Yes.
Alright, give me an athletics roll.
Although I do feel like it'd be pretty easy to lose them. And then I'll be able to go back to being stealthy, because like I'm not making any fucking sound. And
Yeah.
like
As you are,
just get behind a
if
barrel
you
or
are going to
something,
continue
right?
getting closer to the well, though, I'm going to need a will save as the sense of dread continues to get even stronger.
Okay. I got a 20 on my athletics check
All right.
and a 19 on my will save.
All right, you're able to come within about 10 feet, so you can get there, but you can't force
Okay.
yourself to get any closer to the well.
Too spooky. Okay, so but I'll be able to like kind of go diagonally around it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your athletics check, you're able to go pretty quick, so you can kind of like book it, yeah.
I'm
Like-
worried because
like
I don't
that.
want to bite these townsfolk because, like, what if they're like real? What if they're gonna wake up and be regular people, like innocent people? We don't want to hurt them, right?
Yeah, I mean, that is the hope, if you're able to
Yeah, that we'll be able
appease
to
the
save
queen. Especially considering you know at least 2 of the unicorns, including your mentor, are currently missing their faces. So,
Right. So the idea is that we're gonna be able to save them all. So I'm trying to not hurt them, even though I feel like I definitely could, and obviously you as a dragon also could.
oh yeah. All right, so you guys are able to book it. The villagers end up kind of like gathering toward this area, and luckily, there are no more squeaks from Junior, and so the villagers more or less kind of end up running into each other, and then fanning out in the other direction, searching for you.
Oh, good. Now I don't have to get in those sharp talons. I can use their diversion to crawl across this and up to the next building.
Indeed.
Stealthily, of course.
Why? Kind of like in a roundabout way.
And I'm gonna jump to this roof. Huh.
All right, so you guys are able to reconvene over here. And you find yourselves soon enough at the edge of town. It's easy work for you to find ways either over or through the palisade walls. They're not exactly designed for keeping, snakes and lizards out. And you find yourselves now. You can see silhouetted against the sky the tower off to the east. It's always been a bit dilapidated and kind of worn looking, but tonight it looks especially as if it were teetering on the brink of falling apart. And you can still feel the cold, crisp air blowing across the field. And you see in front of you an entire field of, if you were still human-sized, probably like Akalupu could just barely see over the corn that is been planted, ready for harvest. So you can see the path ahead of you. You'll need to make it through this field of corn to reach the tower.
I'm sure everything will go just fine.
I'm sure that there's no children in this corn at all.
No.
Are we supposed to be seeing a different map?
Nope.
Okay. I am going to fly over the corn, kind of like in like loops. So I'm not going to go over the whole thing at once, but I'm going to go like circle, you know, maybe go over 10%, 20%, 30%, and kind of just be looking in the corn, kind of acting as a scout for my non-winged friends.
All right. So you start to circle over the corn below you. You certainly wish you were an owl now, given the advanced night vision you would have, but instead you strain to see through the darkness as the corn sways in the wind, and it's very difficult to tell whether it's just the wind blowing or something moving underneath all of that corn. There are every so often scarecrows planted out into out in the field, and go ahead and give me a perception check.
Oh, now it's time for the dice to start acting up. Oh, and it isn't. I got a 29.
All right. So as you're looking, you see what you thought at first was a scarecrow, until suddenly it looks straight at you.
Fuck that. I'm going to make an immediate turn and fly back to my friends and say, so I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is that it's, well, you know, actually I'm not sure. The bad news is that there's something that looks like a scarecrow, but it is not. It is most definitely not a scarecrow in that field.
So that's almost no information. Thank you.
Well, it looks like a scarecrow, so like if you see a scarecrow-sized thing moving, run. Or just avoid the scarecrows in general.
Yeah, I'm a little hurt that you would say run when you know I don't have any legs.
Well, slither faster.
Slither faster.
Da,
Okay.
da, da.
All right, should we just head out then with that level of information, I
I will
guess?
try. I will.
One foot in front of the other, right,
I
Mako?
will. I will try and guide you guys through. So just like follow me in the air, but like on the ground. You know.
They're not going to be able to see you through the corn, except maybe occasional glimpses.
Oh well. I'll caw very loudly if you need to, you know.
That's an option.
But he won't be able to see where we're at.
No.
Because-
Yeah, well, I'll see probably the corn moving where they're at.
No, with the wind blowing, like I said earlier, it's impossible to tell where it's just the wind blowing the corn around and whether or not it might be something moving under there.
What if we had Junior burn the corn in front of him.
Junior is not a fire lizard.
Wow. You,
Don't do that tongue thing.
you lied to me? What kind of... Well, Junior, do you know what kind of things you can emit from your body?
Can I show him?
Yeah.
Okay, I blow up frosty ice breath at you. There's a couple snowflakes.
That's helpful. That's helpful.
You know what?
Well-
this is your fault, though. You're the one who was always obsessed, growing up, telling me stories about how useful Ray of Frost is and how that's the only thing you ever
Well,
need.
if it's a ray of frost, Junior, not a dusting.
Well, that was not her blowing. That was not Junior actually trying to blow like their breath weapon. It's a
Oh, I'm
cone
sure.
of frost that does some serious damage.
Mono knew he's just being cheeky. Alright, new plan. I'm going to locate the thing, fly to a different scarecrow, claw at it, get it to chase me, take off, and like kind of keep it busy that way. While you guys make a mad dash across the field.
I don't know, it sounds risky. But I guess it's the not scarecrow has already seen you, like it does know that we're here.
Yeah.
It's in the field already waiting.
It looked into my soul.
Ugh.
It did, in fact, feel like it looked into your soul.
Thomas is like, exactly.
Alright. So,
Alright, let's
when
do
you
it
start
then.
to hear me caw, then enter the field and start going.
Alright, I like it, let's do it.
I'm gonna take off.
All
I'm
right.
gonna.
So
I'm gonna
you
wait
take
to find
off.
the thing first. I'm looking for the thing.
All right, so you take off and get a little bit of altitude and start looking through the field, and you look directly where you spotted the creature, and all you see is a wooden cross that that a scarecrow would normally be hanging from, barren and empty, and there is nothing there.
Forget this. New plan. You guys run through and I will fly. I'm just kidding. I'm going to. Do I see it moving in the corn?
You see the
bitch
corn
gone.
moving in the wind, same as before. You
don't
can
see
you
any
imagine? Give me a
scarecrows.
perception check.
Oh,
See if you
dear.
can spot any unusual patterns in the corn that can't be accounted for by the wind.
I told you. I only got a, let's see, a 13.
Yeah, you cannot tell. You think you can see like wakes in the corn from creatures moving in a dozen different places across the field.
Dang it. I told you my dice would start to roll bad, and it rolled a 2. I am going to fly to the cross that it was on and start circling that, slowly going down to land.
All right.
But like keeping a weather eye out to see if I see something. Like kind of teasing the thing, like I'm gonna land. I'm gonna perch on your thing.
You are met with the rustling of the corn brushing against each other in the wind, and nothing else.
Do I see any other scarecrows that are still up?
You do
Or are they all gone?
see some other scarecrows still up.
Okay. Can I go to one that I definitely saw last time? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, so you fly away from that location, you spot another one of the scarecrows that you saw before, and you fly over toward it.
Yeah. I'm gonna fly towards that as if to land.
All right. The scarecrow gently shakes in the wind.
Like a natural shaking.
It certainly seems like it, even though you really can't tell. You can't keep but imagining that perhaps its head is moving with purpose.
get this.
You've never flown over to a scarecrow and landed on it before, so.
Yeah, like this is pretty new territory. I'm going to land on the head.
All right, you land on the head, and you are glad to find that it appears to be a sack stuffed with hay,
Oh, praise the
with
Lord.
a button like sewn on, a sewn on face.
I'm gonna name him Giuseppe. I am also going to look around to see if I see something moving to me toward.
All right. Meanwhile, rest of the group, this has been like a few minutes. This has been at least like 5 to 10 minutes. Are you guys just waiting on a signal, or would you have already started going?
Yeah, I mean, he told us to wait for him to caw that it was like we were clear to go, right? And now we haven't heard from him.
All right. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not blindly going into that cornfield.
Yeah, you have neither heard nor seen the Manoanui since he left. Last 5 to 10 minutes. Manoanui, give me a perception check.
He wants
I
you to
guess
roll
after a
perception.
while of not like touching my phone, it just like closes apps in the background. And one of them was Discord, and I don't know why.
Nice.
Like if I'm actively using it, don't do that. Thank you.
Perception check.
Oh my gosh. Get it? There we go. Yeah, I'm sorry. I said this, but I guess it wasn't going over.
Well, I think they heard you over my
Okay.
mic.
I've heard some of it. He's pretty quiet, so it's hard to make out some things.
If I haven't touched my phone in a while, it'll just start closing apps, especially if the screen is off.
Yeah, we heard that part.
Yeah. Anywho, all right, I'm gonna roll. You said a perception check.
Yes, perception check. Because you said
Oh,
you're
don't get
looking
it, too.
around after landing on the scarecrow.
Yeah. Did you hear what I also named him Giuseppe?
Yes.
I don't know if that was.
Yeah, we got
There we
that
go.
part.
Yeah, we heard.
Good. Okay. That's important information.
All right. Well, hopefully Giuseppe doesn't eat you.
I hope not.
I like it. It's like
I
turned
gave him.
Pinocchio on its head.
Yeah, exactly.
Giuseppe is the scarecrow. Pinocchio is the master.
But hopefully Giuseppe doesn't become a real boy.
There you go.
I got a 23.
All right. You look around. You can't see anything through the corn, but you could swear you hear something snarfling.
Did you hear that I said I was cawing, by the way?
Oh, you're currently cawing?
Yeah.
All right. So you, the same thing. You can't see anything, but you hear something snarfling, and it is
Okay,
coming closer.
I'm gonna take off. And hopefully my cawing was heard by my compatriots.
All right. So you take off, and just as you take off, you are pretty sure you see not just the one, like you hear the snarfling fairly close, but you can see a few wakes throughout the field that look as if they're moving against the wind of other creatures. Perhaps further out in the field.
I'm going to go to a different scarecrow, another one. If I have as good of a memory, I'm going to go land on a different scarecrow that I saw when I looked at the first time. Oh, brother, is that one still just a wooden cross?
The one that you saw earlier? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to fly to a different scarecrow. Also, I just want to say, I did, for my compatriots' sake, I did caw.
Yes. So we're gonna
Yeah,
go
so
ahead.
that's the signal.
Yeah, we're gonna cut
That's
over to
the
you
signal.
guys. You don't know anything other than you finally heard the cawing.
Let's book it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So no stealth, all speed.
All speed.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get athletic checks from everyone.
$14.
22.
6.
Oh no.
Oh no! I
Hey.
said slither faster.
So you guys are booking it as fast as you can through the corn. Unfortunately, Mako, you're still not entirely used to this new mode of locomotion, and managed to get caught up on a few things. And you find yourself stuck between two stalks of corn, trying to pull your head loose. Give me a perception check.
$18.
All right. So your hearing is pretty much non-existent. It's like you're like legally deaf, I guess would be the way to put it. Like you can hear, but only if it's loud enough. It's almost more that you could just like sense the vibrations.
Thomas, side note, did you have to like look up like animal facts for this event, or do you just know a lot of animal facts?
I looked up a little bit about axolotls and then decided I wanted to give them gecko feet anyway because it's fun. But yeah, mostly I just know a lot about animals, I guess.
I love that.
I know some about animals. I would not describe myself as an expert by any means. All right.
Well, continue.
So, but you're able to smell something, with your tongue. You're able to taste smell something that is getting stronger, and it's this pungent scent of just wet earth and decay, and it's growing stronger.
Oh, I'm gonna wiggle harder.
Give me an
Get
acrobatics to try and squeeze.
Okay, good. I've got a much better buff, whatever you call it.
Yes, you're much more acrobatic than you are athletic.
Ugh, I only got a 17 though, so I don't know.
All right, so you start to squeeze, trying to pull away from the creature, which seems to be coming from directly in front of you. Assuming that it is a creature at all, it's only this scent that is continuing to grow more pungent, and eventually you're able to twist your body around and just, you hurt yourself slightly, so let's see. You are going to take 3 points of damage as you twist yourself violently in order to break free. And you can see now, not just smell, but as you're twisting around to resume your escape, you can see something crouched low coming through the corn toward you. But you immediately, I assume, turn around and just slither as fast as you can in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get away, because I think if anything grabs me, I can twist around and, like, bite. That's my plan. So,
all right.
But I gotta try and get away first, because I'm small.
Yes. So you are able to slither away. You can feel these vibrations occasionally behind you, and you can still smell it, but it seems to be getting more faint. You don't dare to look behind you to see how close it is for fear that it'll start to catch up, though. And eventually, all 3 of you find yourselves emerging on the other side of the cornfield. Mano Anui, meanwhile, you were doing what? Flying to a scarecrow?
Yeah, I was flying to one that I saw before.
All right.
No, I was flying to the empty cross.
Okay, so you fly up. You don't see the empty cross anymore. You're not sure if you've just gotten turned around.
What?
But you only
No.
see filled scarecrows now.
Forget that. I am going to... I'm gonna fly about like 10 feet off the ground and like across one edge of the cornfield and just start cawing really loudly.
All right.
A good 10 feet off the ground.
So you're like maybe like a foot above the corn then.
What?
Oh, probably
How tall
not
is
quite
the
that
corn?
close, because the corn's about 7.
Like 8 feet tall. I think that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the corn is
I'm going
about
to fly
7 or
a-
8 feet.
I'm going to fly a good 5 feet above the corn.
All right, so you start doing that, cawing loudly, hopefully getting the attention of anything that might be out there.
Yeah.
Give me an acrobatics,
I don't
though.
want to,
Suddenly, a
but I
gust
don't-
of wind slams into you, and you
don't
find
want-
yourself spiraling toward the corn.
I don't want to. +7 is 17.
All
I
right.
don't know why I took a second to think about that.
All right, so you're able to twist yourself back, and you're not going to be able to stop yourself from landing, but you are going to be able to land rather than crash. So you see 3 potential places to land. One is one of the scarecrows. Then there is the corn nearby the scarecrow, or you also see a kind of empty patch of just dark dirt.
This isn't Giuseppe, is it?
You have been thoroughly turned around. You have no idea if this is Giuseppe.
Oh, I would know Giuseppe. Me and Giuseppe had connect.
You know Giuseppe by the bird poop you left
Yes.
on his left shoulder.
Let me think. Oh, you said on the corn? No. On the scarecrow? I don't like that. Or in the clearing?
A small clearing with that has a patch of dark earth.
Oof. That sounds bad. We're gonna go risky. We're gonna go for the scarecrow. We're gonna risk it for the biscuit. What's
right.
the biscuit? I don't know. But I guess not dying.
That's what's so scary.
Yeah.
All
It's a
right.
mystery biscuit.
So you spread your wings, slowing
land
your
on the head. Is that something I have control over?
not entirely. This is like you're
Okay.
just barely able to keep this from literally face first barreling into it. So you spread your wings to slow your descent as much as possible and shoot out your talons, and you find yourself gripping onto its shoulder. You take a couple of ragged breaths, settling yourself, when suddenly you realize that the scarecrow is looking straight at you. And from your now excellent peripheral vision, you don't even turn your head, you see a pale, faceless visage.
Does this like seem like a person who has no face, or is this like some creature?
You do
Does that
not
make-
have time. You can, unless you want to stay and think about it.
No, I'm gonna try and take off.
All right, give me a reflex save.
Don't fail me now. 19.
All right, you immediately, as you realize that this figure is looking at you, just immediately take off as quickly as you can, and just barely in time as you see behind you its arms shoot out toward you, trying to grab you, and just
Giuseppe was
barely
never.
miss getting a hold of your tail feathers.
I'm gonna go high. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
All right, so now back to the rest of you. The cawing has suddenly stopped in a choking fit. It went from this like regular caw to this like terrified choking gargle, and then stopped entirely.
Yikes.
Just keep going.
All right, so you book it over to the tower, and eventually you find yourselves at the entrance to the tower. It's completely abandoned. The guards who normally patrol it seem to be nowhere in sight. The only thing that you see is that, let's see. Yes, guess you wouldn't see that yet. So, yeah, so it's worn down. The wind is blowing through the cracks in the old and worn down tower. Ivy is growing black in the darkness, choking along the walls of the tower. And you can see the entrance to the interior is entirely black. There's no light coming from inside, but the door is about 3/4 of the way open.
Now I think we should probably wait for Manawanui.
Yeah, because if he doesn't show up soon, we should go back and rescue him. Like, we can't just leave him out there.
All right, Manawanui, you have flown high up. Finally, I imagine you work up the courage to look back down where you landed.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna look. Yeah.
All right, so you look back down, and in this case, there isn't even the cross for where Scarecrow should have been.
Forget that. I'm gonna look and see if I see any sign of, like, my friends.
Yeah, give me a perception check. You got pretty good eyesight. You might spot them.
19.
All right. Not really. Not unless you guys are making some sort of a signal to say, we're here. But that could be, intercepted by more than just Manawanui.
Yeah.
Right, we're not just gonna stand at the edge of the scary cornfield and be like, hey, over here!
I'm gonna
But he doesn't see the tower?
He does see the tower. Like, he knows where the tower is, and he knows that, like, that's where y'all were headed, but he does not see you.
Okay.
I'm gonna slowly start doing kind of like a circling, lowering towards the other end of the cornfield. Still like scanning, seeing if I see them in the cornfield, seeing if maybe I see them out on the edge of the cornfield, something like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, you do not see any traces of anything. You don't even see, like, even the movement you think you saw before, which you're still not certain of, you don't seem to see anymore.
Oh, that's lovely.
Junior, can you shoot a frost ball in the air as like a flare?
Well, I was wondering, do we see him up in the air?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah, because we're definitely not doing anything except for standing there looking at the sky, trying to, like, see if he's there.
I got an 11.
I got a 27, but I have snake eyes.
14.
Huh?
All right, so Mako, you can smell him coming from, like luckily the wind is blowing in the right direction. You can smell him, like, blowing on the wind from the direction of the cornfield.
Oh, okay. So I'm like, guys, I smell him. So, Junior, maybe you should, like, throw up a frost flare. Because he looks like he smells like he's confused.
He does smell confused.
Okay, good. He smells disoriented.
He smells, like, terrified and confused.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I will do that.
All right. Are you sure that you want to shoot off a flare that anyone can see?
Not people without eyes.
That's true. Not people without eyes. And you guys haven't seen these, like, something in that cornfield was looking directly at Manawanui despite not being able to see him. So you don't know that that's a thing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm still assuming that everyone has no eyes. So.
All right. So you're gonna use your breath weapon.
Yes.
All right. What's the recharge on that? I think it's a number of rounds, so it should be back pretty quick, technically, outside of combat.
Breath weapon. 1d4 rounds recharge.
Okay, yeah. So like maximum, it would be like 24 seconds. So not a big deal. Okay, so you shoot off a flare of cold. Just fairly difficult to miss, and is both some fairly bright and somewhat loud. So, Mono Nui, I'm just gonna assume you see it.
Thank you. I'm gonna fly that way.
All right, give me a perception
you
check.
don't roll and make sure you don't get a 1.
Mono Nui?
Well, he's gonna be rolling now anyway. So, Mono Nui, as you're flying back to your friends, let's get a perception check.
I got a 23.
All right. So you looking behind you at the field. You think you might see some wakes in the corn again, coming in your direction.
Can I? Alright, I'm gonna fly overhead of my friends, because I see them at this point, right?
Yeah, you know where they are at this point.
Yeah. And as I'm getting close, I'm gonna say, "Run to the tower! Run to the tower! Run to the tower!"
All right.
And I'm gonna continue to fly towards the tower. By the way,
Okay. So yeah, you're
I'm not
rapidly.
gonna tell them as I go come up and go over.
Okay.
That's
Are you trying to go like in the doorway? Are you trying to land on the tower?
In the tower.
Okay, so you are rapidly approaching the darkened doorway. Like I said, it's about 3/4 of the way open, so you can easily make it inside. So, are you gonna
It's
just
making
like?
it out. That's gonna be the trick.
And,
Who's to say?
well, we know what's out here.
Or do you?
Well, I know.
Do you?
Or do you?
It's
What's
not
out
good.
here?
Something
Yeah?
not good. That's all I need to
Exactly.
know.
You don't
That's
know
all
what's
I
out
need to
here.
know.
All right, so you guys see and hear Mono Nui shouting overhead, "Go to the tower! Go to the tower! Go to the tower!" And then shoots inside of and disappears inside of the shadows of the doorway.
Well, good enough for me. Let's fucking book it.
I feel like we should all try and push the door closed. He seems like something was chasing him.
Well, we'd have to pull the door closed once we get in, right? Like, let's do it.
It opens outward, so yeah,
Oh,
you will
yeah,
have to
that's
pull
tougher.
Right, Jason, that would be a fire hazard. Come on.
Okay.
it. Also, defensively, it's a lot easier to like. The people outside would have to pull it open, right? So it's a lot easier to lock it closed if it opens outward.
Yeah, it's a fire hazard and like a
Siege hazard.
Visigoth hazard, yeah.
Exactly. All right, so you guys are just booking it.
Yeah, let's book it. That's
Yeah.
not worth it.
Step one, we're gonna try and get in the place, and then once we're in it, then we can focus on trying to maybe close the door or barricade the entrance or whatever.
All right. So the door. So you guys book it inside. Your eyes start to adjust to the even dimmer light of the interior. You can barely see though now that the bright or reddish glow from the blood moon is no longer shining directly on things. You're only getting the little bit of ambient light through the occasional crack or window. The door is very heavy and solid, so pulling it closed, very challenging if you want to still try and do that. Otherwise, you can see the ground around is very messy. There are a few tables and chairs and other things set up around for the guards that live there or work there normally. It appears that there's a half-eaten meal on one of the tables just sitting there untouched. Well, half-eaten and then untouched, I guess. And you can see a winding spiral staircase going both up the tower and leading downward.
Well, she said it was in the basement or in the dungeon.
We don't have arms. Well, I don't have arms, and none of us are big enough to like move these tables or anything, or even the door. So I guess that blocking the door is kind of out of the question. So I guess let's head to the basement.
Yeah, the best place to be when monsters are chasing you.
It's the last place they think you'd go.
All
But
right.
really, the closer you are to danger.
So you
farther
guys
apart.
begin to descend down the stairs, and soon, even what little light there was is gone. I believe Mako has dark vision as a schnick. Yeah, you have low light vision, and then you have scent. So you can, because of your scent, you can actually, it's an imprecise scent, or sense, meaning that you can't, like, immediately locate exactly where something is, but within 30 feet of you, you can smell anything that's coming up on you. Yep, you also have low light vision. Lucky for you.
Does that help even if it's dark?
Unfortunately not. Okay, so only Junior can see. Junior has full dark vision. And then both Junior and Mako can use their scent to smell what's around them as well.
So should we maybe like perception check? Because I'm definitely scoping stuff out nasally.
All right, sure. Mako and Akalupu, let's get some perception checks. The rest of you are pretty much out of luck as you descend into the pitch blackness of this basement.
I got an 18.
15. All right, so
Those are some regular ass rolls.
yeah. Scent-wise, you smell kind of a dusky, moldy scent, but you don't think you sense anything that seems to be coming from a creature specifically. Agalupu, because you can also see in the dark, you can see ahead of you at the bottom of the staircase after at a landing where it widens out. There is a trap door which seems to have been sealed multiple times over. It has, it doesn't appear to be original to the construction of the building. It seems that this was a newer construction. Very solid, thick wooden slabs. The whole thing then was chained down. But you see that despite all of these attempts to keep whatever may be lurking in the basement down there, that the chains and the door and all have been ripped apart and are just thrown across the room. And there is just a gaping hole leading further down into the darkness.
Do you see?
I don't know if you're muted or what, Anna, but we can't hear you. Yeah, you're muted.
There we go. Now I'm not muted. I'm gonna let everyone know what I just saw and like kind of take like a half step back.
Junior, do you see any light making material?
Do I see any like torches? Anything like
Yeah,
that?
there are some torches around, if you could figure out how to light them. There is
like,
also
any...
just a slight glow coming from the where the trapdoor once was.
Oh, sweet. So
Very faint. Yes, all you can see is the tiniest hint of light ahead of you.
I'm gonna hop towards it, so I'm not flying at this point.
All right, yeah, no, you would not be able to fly in this confined of a space. All right, so you peer down and you think you can just barely make out the outline of a wooden staircase.
Yeah, this is still like darker than low light, right?
Yes, this is darker than like out in the moonlight. This is like you can just barely see past your nose kind of light.
But I think it's called low light vision. What do I have?
No, your low light vision is not sufficient to see anything beyond what I've described.
Okay. And Akalupa, you didn't see, or Junior, you didn't see any like flints and steel or anything like that, did you?
Even if he did, there would be no way for you guys to use it.
I can use tools. It says I can use simple tools.
I guess you could try to pile everything up and then hold the flint in your beak and hit the steel with it, but good luck starting a fire
have
that
trouble
way.
using flint and steel.
Nah, I'm gonna ask off. Junior, come over here. What do you see?
Alright, Akalupu will go up to the pit and look down.
All right, you see a wooden staircase leading downward.
The wooden staircase leading downward.
And is like the light stronger down there, or?
Yeah, it does appear to be getting slightly brighter down there.
All right, here. You go first, and I will follow. You just tell me if the stairs stop.
Okay. Akalupu starts going down the stairs very reluctantly.
I'm gonna hop behind him.
And then I'll come third, because I also have better perception than everyone else.
I guess I'll take up the rear.
I'm
just a blind little salamander.
Get you all lined up then. And here we go.
Yeah, I mean, unless you think I should take up the rear, babe. Cause
I got it. I'll just bite anyone who gets too close.
All right, are you able to see now? Well, what little you can see.
Yes, we can see the staircase. Spooky.
All right, Akalupu. Right, Junior, lead the way. Hop. 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 Hop.
Marco, where? What?
I'm sorry. I forgot that we had to be doing it. Cancel. There we go.
I'm gonna try and go down another stair because I still think there's stairs.
All right, you do that like false half step and then realize that you're at the bottom. You can see immediately around you though. You should be able to see like 5 feet around you as dim light.
Oh, okay.
Is that accurate to what you are physically seeing at the moment?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yes.
So, like I mentioned, there is just a bit of faint glow around you.
Is this up here where, is this where it gets thinner? Like as in, like in a tunnel?
So you see
Or
a
is it like
dead
a
end
drop
there.
off?
There's a dead end in front of you that just ends in a wall, and then to your south, there appears to be a door.
Alright. I'm going to try and use my cunning to open the door.
Here we go. That's better. Instead of giving you 10 feet of light, I can actually give you 10 feet of night vision. All right, Anna, does that look about right?
Yes.
All right, cool. That way you're not shedding light that everyone else can see and shouldn't be able to.
I'm going to try and open the door using cunning. Using my simple tool ability.
All right. So, I mean, I guess an athletics or acrobatics, either one, because you're basically trying to figure out how to open a door with, not the intended appendages.
I will use my acrobatics, and I will get a 17.
All right, you manage it, so you are able to get the door open. Are you opening it all the way, or just like opening it a crack?
Opening it a crack.
All right. Boop.
Alright, I'm gonna open it up a little bit. Well, first things first, who has the best ears? Is that this? Does the snake have good ears?
No, I mean probably the dragon would have the best ears.
Akalupu, go to the door and tell me what you hear.
And I'll use my smelling ability.
Nice. All right, so you smell very old, stale air, as if it hadn't been disturbed for years and years. In terms of hearing, you hear an occasional giggle, just like what played a second ago. That was perfect timing.
Oh no! Oh,
Just like that.
All right, open the door.
Thanks.
I'm just gonna get in this corner here and cower.
All right, you open
Shouldn't you be
the
praying?
door.
Yeah.
Can I roll like a? Do I need to roll like a stealth or anything to try to do it quietly?
If you're trying to do it quietly, then yes.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do it quietly. I got an 8.
All right. There's a loud and elongated creak as the door opens. Rusted old hinges, complaining at being moved after all this time.
Yet another situation when we should have had that WD-40.
Exactly. Just like scoop some of the goop off of Ip and then smear it on there.
That's what I was gonna say. Can I just like spit on it?
You could.
It's too late now.
Alright. I'm gonna hop over the threshold.
All right. You can see what you can see. Now that we have the dynamic lighting, it's all very, very nice. So you can see an old room, kind of cluttered. There's a rug in front of you. You can't see very far. So you're not able to see what is further off to the west, but you're pretty sure that is where the laughing noises were coming from.
Yay. I'm gonna hop again.
All right, you are 5 feet further than you were before.
I'm gonna hop to the east.
All right, there's a wall there. Some random clutter. This stuff is all very strange looking to you. It's certainly not manufactured by your tribe. Some of it reminds you a bit of what you saw in the spirit realm at the Fox's house, or maybe also of some of Topple's belongings.
I'm gonna hop.
And we don't know what we're
bit.
looking for, right? Like, all we know is that something might be in the basement of this
I'm
building.
gonna guess. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say I think it's to the west. I think what we're looking for is probably near the source of the giggles.
All right, backstep, Mako, and Ip, to where you were a second ago. I think you were here. All right, so as you hop onto the rug, give me a reflex save, Mono Anui.
Yay!
Oh.
Oh, that's not good. Let's see. Plus 9 is 13.
All right. The rug immediately just gives way from underneath you, and you find yourself tumbling down into a pit. It's about 30 feet deep. Luckily, you're small and wrapped up in the carpet, so you do not take damage on impact. But you are tangled in the carpet, and you hear around you a click and then some sort of hissing noise. The rest of you see the rug suddenly just disappear out from under Manawa Nui, leaving a gaping black pit where the rug was. Well, slightly smaller than the rug, but under the rug. And you see the carpet starting to struggle as Manawa Nui is wrapped up in it, and you can see spigots on the side of the pit start to spray out water.
Crap.
Oh no, I was gonna be like, at least the guy who can fly fell in the 30-foot pit. But
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is, given the angle, it is not birds can't fly straight up. So it would not be possible for Manawa Nui to fly out of this pit, even if he were not tangled.
See, animal facts. Wow.
I am gonna try and get untangled.
All right, give me
First
an
things first.
acrobatics.
All right, let's get a better roll this time. All right, that plus 7 is 24. 17 plus 7 is 24, right? Yeah.
All right, so you are able to shake off the rug. By the time you do, though, you are already getting wet, and you can see that there is about 3 inches of water in the pit, and it is steadily rising.
Do I see a spigot that I can like physically turn off?
There are water spouts. If you're hoping for a nice little handle to turn the water off, no, this is a trap to kill people.
Well, see, that's what I was looking for. And, what if like, they were just relying on people like, you know what? Maybe they made it righty-loosey, lefty-tighty.
Exactly.
You know?
But no.
All right.
You see water spigots in the walls, and that is it.
All right, I'm gonna call
Mako,
up to.
Can you hold on to something and lower your tail as like a rope, and I'll jump in and get him?
Oh, well,
I'm not 30 feet long.
Yeah, I was gonna
that's
say
fair.
it's a 30-foot long drop. I'm gonna call up and say, all right, Junior, I need you to look around the room for something to turn off the water.
Junior, freeze the faucets.
Junior, freeze the faucets.
All right, Junior, what are you gonna do? And you're muted, by the way, so if you're saying something, we cannot hear you.
Okay, well, I was just explaining to Ib that I have a 30-foot cone. If I try to freeze the faucets, you will also get frozen. So I don't think that's a good plan.
Or is that a price he's willing to pay?
Look for the off switch. Look for the off switch.
Gonna look around the room. Is there can I climb up on this dresser to
Yes.
go around the pit?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
While they're looking, I will crawl down the pit, because I don't mind water. And I'm gonna see if I can hoist Manawa Nui up while I climb back up the side of the trap.
All right, so you're gonna definitely need all 4 feet on the walls to be able to stick. He could try to grab you, though.
Yes, I'm gonna try and grab his tail. If that's
Yeah, you could
possible.
hop on him and ride his back.
Given the size, you would not be able to grab just the tail. You're gonna have to grab his torso with your claws.
Well, I'm gonna do that. I'm sorry, old bud, old lippy, but
All
I'm gonna
right.
grab him.
Give me a. I think acrobatics makes the most sense to try and grip him without just stabbing him with your talons.
Alright, I got a 6 would be 21. I got a 21. Yeah, 7 plus 14 is 21.
All right. So you do a decent job. The talons are not stabbing him as much as they could be. Let's get a strength check, or I guess not strength. Let's do athletics. Give me an athletics check, Ip.
Neither one is very good, but athletics is better. Oof, 7.
All right,
God.
you're not making much progress. You do, however, take 6 points of damage from the talons digging into you.
Youch.
These are desperate times, though.
Are you gonna continue to try?
Yeah, let's give it one more go.
All right, roll athletics again.
16.
All right, you make about we'll say I'm gonna give you 8 plus 5 feet of progress. Not bad. All right, so you're about a third of the way out now. You do, however, take another 5 points of damage from the talons.
Quick
Youch.
question. How much damage can you take?
28.
28.
Okay.
Yeah, Ip has the most health out of all of you.
And I have healing over time.
Yes.
So once we get out, I'll be okay.
Sweet. Oh my goodness.
All right.
Let's keep it going. Mako, I'm gonna need all the help I can get, whatever length you have.
Was I supposed to subtract my own hit points? I just saw where that was, and I got hurt in the cornfield.
Yeah, you took a small
I think
amount.
3.
That sounds right.
You said. Okay, so now I'm at 10 out of 13.
Okay.
Okay, so then I'm already over here. Although you guys are over there, I guess. Do I have to take time to like move?
Not really,
Just
since
go
we're
over
in,
there?
yeah, we're not in turn-based mode yet. So yes, you can go over and kind of like, are you dangling your tail down?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna like grab on with my mouth to like the corner of this table or whatever it is against the wall here, and then try and dangle my like 4 foot of tail.
Yeah, so you're
My
able
body.
you're able to get maybe like 3 or 4 feet. Well, probably not even that much. You're able to get maybe like 1.5 to 2 feet of your body down.
I don't know what this is gonna do to help.
And I rolled an 11.
Oof. All right. Well, you're gonna make some progress at least. You may get 1 foot.
I can't like aid him. can
now-
I
I?
thought that was the damage roll. Dang it.
No. Now you should be. What is your healing factor?
Fast healing 5.
Okay. So you actually can heal 5 this round. So technically you're gonna like each round you can heal 5. So go ahead and give yourself 10 hit points.
Yay.
All right. So
My
you make it
call
1
would just,
foot.
like,
So you're now
keep
12.
inside.
You're now 12 feet up out of the 30, and you're going to take 8 points of damage.
Oh my god. Stop rolling so well.
This is not. This is not a good plan.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
All right. Roll
I'm
for
gonna do
it.
it. Damn it. Do we have hero points?
You do have hero points.
Okay, I'm using a hero point. Nice. 15.
That's much better. I'm gonna give you 1d8 plus 4. Let's see if you roll good. 8 feet. So you're now 20 feet out. You just need another 10 feet. You are, however,
Another 6 feet to get to Mako.
yes. You are, however, or no. No, Mako's like 1.5 feet down the hole, so you're basically out by the time you get to Mako.
Oh, dang.
But yeah, and you are going to take. Technically, you heal for 3 points.
Nice. All right. Big money. Oh, that landed on its side. A little divot. Oh, 3.
Oof. All right, you're going to lose 8 feet of progress.
No!
The dice hate you. So you're now
Oh
back
my
down
God.
to 12 feet.
It's actually hitting me like the worst. I'm getting the worst rolls both ways.
Yeah, well, let's
Like-
see. Let's see about this damage roll. Maybe it'll roll low for that. Yes, technically
Oh, thank goodness.
you heal for 3 hit points this time. The water
All
is
right, so-
rising though, so the water is about 6 feet up at this point. So you're only like 8 feet above the water.
Junior, any
Or
progress
6 feet
finding
above the
that
water.
off switch?
Yeah, Junior, give me a perception check. Let's see if you spot anything.
Why do we think there's an off switch for the?
There's always, a hidden book in a bookcase or a
Yeah.
statue that you can pull as a lever.
Okay.
Or like maybe like a
Like, what
a
if you fall into
nozzle
your own
that you
trap? You gotta.
can- Well, I don't think you can turn it off if you're in it. But like if someone you like is in it. Like,
Right.
Like, if you're a Bond villain and you wanna, like, make it suspenseful.
20.
All right, you found some books on that table. You have not found anything that looks suspiciously like an off switch, though.
Well, I did walk all the way around the hole, by the way.
Okay.
And then I came back over to try to help Mako.
So you find a dirt, like over here, you find a pile of random odds and ends that have spilled out of a chest that seems to have been knocked over. and it seems almost like a child's baubles.
Huh.
Like random little things that might be interesting to a child, or an akalupu.
Just throw them all into the pit. No, I'm just kidding.
I was wondering about that. Did I find anything that looks like it would be like would float?
The chest would probably float if you pushed it in.
Okay, can I try to do that?
Sure. Give me an athletics. Are you gonna help, Mako?
I am gonna help because they are not even close to me being able to help them out of the thing. I'm not a rope.
All right. You are a nope rope, but not long enough.
Exactly.
All
I
right.
rolled a 12.
I mean, you make some progress.
Oh my god.
Oh, you make it 8 feet, so you're now back at 20 feet.
That's a good roll. That's a good roll.
Back at 20 feet, and you heal for 2 points.
There's no
I
way
love
I
my
could
healing powers.
There's nothing I can do that helps him, is there?
No. Anything you would do would just make it worse, because the only thing you could do is start flapping your wings, which would just start throwing you all over the place.
You're a wet bird.
All right, 13.
All right.
Jason, we're not doing you right now. We're trying to do us.
Yes.
Sorry.
So give
wanna
me
get out.
give me athletics checks to push that chest in.
I got a
17.
19.
Nice. All right, you guys are able to send the chest splashing down, and it does indeed float.
Alright. Here's my thought. Do we want to continue to try and crawl up, or I could hop on the chest until it floats to the top?
That seems a lot smarter, but we're in it now.
I kind of feel invested in this as well. Also, I think my claws have healed into your body.
Yeah, my skin's just healed around your talons. We're one.
Yeah.
We're one being now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Alright,
10.
let's do it.
10? Oh no. All right. You lose 3 feet, so you're at 17 feet,
I can't give him a
and
hero point of
you
mine, can
break
I?
even on damage.
These dice hate me. Okay, 11.
All right. You might make some progress.
I'm gonna switch up which
You
die I'm using.
make 0 feet of progress,
Oh my gosh.
and you take
16.
2 points of healing.
I'm back to full health, but I rolled a 16 that time. This die has got my back.
Yeah, that's much better. All right, you make 10 feet, so you are now 3 feet from the top, and you take 4 points of healing.
And 12 for the last push.
All right. You make 3 feet, which I think is what I said you were away from the top. So you finally managed to
Yes.
crest the edge.
The little axolotl that could.
That was exhausting to
I
watch.
will not forget this. I will not forget this. Yep.
All right, and the pit continues to fill up until, in fact, it does reach the top and then stops with the chest kind of just bobbing there in the water. You now have your own little pool.
And just to be clear, you said that axolotls can't gecko up walls. The only ability that Jason has used all game is not accurate.
Well, I can
Yeah.
regenerate. That's a real axolotl ability.
Yes.
Okay,
Now,
okay, there you go.
not that extreme. They don't have Wolverine regeneration like he does. But yes, that is a real thing that axolotls have. They can be horribly maimed and just grow stuff back.
And I am amphibious, so if I had fallen into the water trap, I would have been.
You would have been chill.
Right? You've been like, all right, guys, give me a minute. I'll get up there. I'll just let me gecko up these walls.
Can I try and read this book? Do I know what language it's in? I'm looking at it.
The book is too old and worn. Even if you knew the language, you'd not be able to make anything out. It's largely just turned to dust. Like if you even try to open the book, it just crinkles and falls apart in your beak.
I'm gonna start looking at these toys.
All right, so we have gone for a little over 2 hours. Do people want to keep going, or do we want to wrap up for today?
Well, you know how much more is ahead. How much, like, is it?
Could go either way.
I gotta be honest, I could break.
All right, so let's go ahead and wrap up here, and we will hopefully finish up the game next time. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap up as always. Mako, what have you learned?
That people have no respect for arm and legless Americans in this economy.
Right? They just no respect for the limbed different.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the differently
They just wanna
limbed.
treat me like
that
a
would
rope.
be it. Yeah, the differently limbed.
Yes.
Terrible.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I think it was malicious toward the end. I think they were doing it on purpose.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Well, we'll report to HR right after this and get it taken care of.
Thank you.
All right. And Ip, what have you learned?
Ip learned that axolotls are not very useful.
You're the most useful one.
I know, I was gonna say. I think of all of us.
But that
You're
wasn't due
pretty-
to my axolotlness, that was due to my determination.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you are pretty tanky, so
That's
Yeah,
true.
you took
you
so
are
much
also a
damage.
poisonous axolotl, in case you hadn't noticed.
Oh no.
Oh, I do have poison.
So, definitely, I would say feelings of uselessness are largely overblown. All right, and what about Mono Anui? What have you learned?
Mono Anui learned that Mono Anui learned a lot. Mainly scarecrows are scary.
I mean, it's in the name, it just makes sense.
Yeah, don't go into a cornfield at night.
Like I was like, before
You're
I became
actually-
a bird, I'm like, what? You're scared of a scarecrow? But now that I am a bird, I'm like, scarecrows are scary.
Yeah, aren't you a crow? Like, it's meant
Right.
to scare you.
Well, he's a raven, but, you
I'm
know,
a raven.
pretty
Oh.
similar.
Close.
It's like a big
It'd be
crow.
It would be really funny if there was actually nothing in the field, just like normal scarecrows.
Right.
Because Mono Anui's a bird.
Who's to say? I mean,
Like-
none of you got a good look at anything.
It's just like, I don't know about those guys. Fuck those guys.
Bad things are happening. Bad things are happening.
Exactly. All right, and last but certainly not least, Akalupu Jr. What have you learned?
Akalupu Jr. learned that nobody cares if you work super hard to like throw a chest in the water. We're just gonna do it the hard way anyways.
Oh, too true. You know, you can throw a drowning man a life preserver, but you can't make him put it on.
Yes, exactly.
I think that this is realistic though, because we're like spooked from all the spooky happenings, so we're like freaking out and panicking.
Yeah,
and not
panicking, doing stupid
coordinating.
things.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining me. I hope you've had a good and spooky time, and I will see you all at the next game. Bye.
Ah.
That's way better. That's how I should have signed off.